as usual, that should be up online within a day or two of the event. So, I mean, first question, the usual one. Can everybody see the screen okay? Can they see the classroom being streamed, and you can see yourself on the big screen at the back? Okay.
Yes. Nice waving pony.
I'm very good at it.
Dogs allowed here?
Oh yes, we're very inclusive. All genders, all species, everybody. Yeah, all allowed here. Okay, so we'll just get back to where we were last week. We'd started putting a few rooms together and creating an archway and a door, which you can't see very well there. A door and a door frame. It is loosely based upon my own house, so I kind of knew how it was going to be laid out. But what we didn't do was put all of the doors in, which I'm not going to do, for the simple fact that it would mean I'd have to put all the rooms in. We've already got a doorway here, like a hole for a door. But there's nothing here. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and we'll start with, we'll create a door to go in here, and we'll hinge it so that we can animate it, and then after that, I think what we'll do is we'll texture everything.
Kurt, there's an echo.
Yeah, I can hear an echo from somebody here.
The white screen is not a good one, right?
I do love her voice being echoed, but...
Sorry, you said the screen was what? Was not a good one?
White.
It's
only
white. Okay.
Oh,
Are you on Quest at the moment?
Quest 3.
Quest 3, right, okay. What I'd like you to do, this should fix it, is just briefly press the power button. You're not going to power down your headset. You just want to press it quickly to turn the screen off. And once it's black, turn it back on again. And that should fix it.
Well, I did that, but it didn't fix it.
And you've still got a white screen. Give me 1 second. What I'll do is I'll reload the space for everybody again.
Oh, no.
And we'll see if that fixes it. Is that any better? It's what? It's broke now.
I can see it.
Oh, god damn. I don't want to be
I can see it fine.
No, I'm back. I pressed my power button, press it back and come back on again.
Right, okay. Well, if that hasn't fixed it for you, the only thing I can suggest is you could try bringing up your Banter menu and try and clear cache and rejoin and just load in a whole new version of the classroom. And if that doesn't work, I would suggest restarting Banter. Okay.
All right. See ya.
Okay, so where were we? Yes, we'd uploaded it to Unity, but we hadn't created any materials yet. It's only got the materials that are embedded into the FBX file, which was the colours we gave it last week. Oh, wrong one. Unity, there we go. And that's basically all we did. So what I would like to do is, for this this frame here, I'd like to create a door that goes in the frame. And then I want to start unwrapping everything and texturing it. Putting some lights in and baking the lighting. So we'll start off with that door frame. We'll go back to Blender and I've got it selected already. I'm just going to hit the / button to isolate it so I can work on it. And what we'll do is we'll go into edit mode. In face mode, I'll select these 3 faces. We'll hit Shift and D to duplicate them. And then P to separate, and we want to separate by selection. So now we've got these two. The orange one is the red one. kind of thing, whatever colour it is the one we've just separated. So I'm actually going to rename these so I know what I'm working on in future. Quick way of renaming stuff is just in your viewport display, as long as you've got it selected over here in the inspector, go to your viewport display and hit F2, and then you can just rename it. And I'm just going to call this door. Yay. So we've got the door. What I'm going to do is go into edge mode, so edit mode, and hit this button. I'm just using a shortcut. Select that edge, come on mouse, and that edge. Hold down shift to select multiple edges, F to fill that edge and that edge, F to fill, that'll do. If we just tap forward slash a couple of times again, we can just double check that's all fine. Let's fill this in just because. And we can just check the face orientation as well. That's wrong. We need the faces to face outwards on this. So to do that, we hit Shift and N, N for normals. Recalculate normals. Now, why hasn't that? If I do inside, why is it still red? Oh, that could be because I didn't select everything. Shift and N, there we go. You can also tick this and have them facing inwards, but we want them facing outwards because we do actually want to be able to see the door. This face orientation I've just added to my quick menu. I did show you last week how to add stuff to your quick menu, but you literally just go up here. No, not that one. This one that's got the two little circles. And under face orientation, where you would normally tick that, you can right click it and say you'd like to add it to your quick favourites. In this case, it's just giving me the option to remove because it's already in my quick favourites. And once it's in there, you can just hit the Q key. Your quick favourites comes up, and anything that you like to use a lot of or like to use often, use use quick favourites. And in this case, I want face orientation. So we've done that. Let's just select the door and the frame again, and we shall isolate those. What I want to do is make the door a bit thinner, because obviously doors are never as thick as the frames. So we'll scale that on the X till it kind of looks right. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll also turn on cavity as well. Oh, it's already turned on. Okay, did that last week. But then, of course, doors are never dead in the centre as well. It's always closer to one side of the frame. It's always the side that it opens on. So we're going to move this forward so that it's in line with this part of the frame. And if we go up here to the snap menu, snapping, we'll choose face project. We're going to move it on the X axis, which is red. It says up here, red is X. So G for grab, X will hover over the face we want it to snap to, hold down Control and left click. And that's it, flush with that part of the frame. And now what we want to do is just make it slightly smaller, because at the moment it's kind of touching the frame. So we'll scale it on the Z. Now you can do tiny changes in transforms by holding down the Shift key. If I don't hold Shift, the slightest movement on my mouse is going to change it too much. But if I hold down Shift, you get very small movements. And we'll literally just want to bring it in a tiny little bit. And scale it on the Y as well, a tiny little bit. And that'll do for our door. And then what I'll do is I'll go into edit mode, select edges again. I'll select this edge here, and then if we right click, is it right click? Where on earth is it? Goodness gracious, I can never find stuff in here. What you could do is, if you can hit your your menu button on the right hand side of your keyboard, you've got control, and then you've got a menu button that brings up your... That's still doing the same thing as right click. Damn. Hang on, give me a second till I figure out how to do this, because I can't remember. I use a shortcut which is Shift S, and then I'm gonna snap the origin to that edge. But that requires a plug-in, and I can't even remember which plug-in it is. So we're going to do it. This is what we do. This is what we have to do. You need to... you know what? I can't remember. I'm just going to put that there for now. What we've got to do is move the cursor to that edge, and I can't even remember how to snap a cursor to the edge. Is it snap?
Isn't it like?
I use F3. I just search in F3 for snap cursor.
Oh, yeah. I should have done that, shouldn't I?
To select it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I should have done. Or cursor to active, cursor to selected. Yeah.
So in edit mode usually.
Yeah.
I just select the edge and cursor to selected.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. See, you get so used to using add-ons that you forget the generic way of doing things. But yeah, the way to do it without having that add-on, thank you for your help, is you do need to put your cursor where it is, and then you go back into object mode, and then you can set your origin to the 3D cursor. But then it does mean you have to try and remember to put your cursor back to the world origin, because otherwise anything else you spawn in future is always going to spawn where the cursor is. So we've put our origin there. All that means is that when it comes time, looks like it's moved forward a bit, doesn't it? Let's just move it back a little smidge. About there. When it comes time, when you come to actually open the door, you might want to create an animation. So you might want to be able to walk into the room, click on the door handle, the door opens. So what I would do is, that's why I put it next to that that side of the door frame. I've hit R for rotate, Z for the Z axis, and you can literally rotate your door around the origin there. So that's why I've put it there, just for future, because I may decide I want to animate it at some point. So we've got the door done. It is white, the same as the door frame. I'm not going to go into making a fancy door with panels or anything like that just yet. I think it's enough just to do a door for now. So the next thing we want to do is to start unwrapping stuff. And what I'd like to do is separate these rooms first of all, because I intend to use occlusion culling, so that when I'm in one room, I might be in the living room, I don't want the kitchen, for instance, to render at all. So we need these separated so they can be baked into the occlusion culling. So to do that, I'm going to start off by just selecting the faces I want to separate. Have I already selected that one? Yes, I have. Okay, and then, yeah, we can just separate by selection. And I'll do the same with this room. Separate by selection. So we've now got 3 separate rooms, and the only thing that should be joining them is the door frame. Now with this one, is that correct? Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so what I'll start doing is unwrapping everything first, and I'll start with the big things. I'll start with the room, so I'm going to isolate it so I can see what I need to unwrap. And this is really easy. You don't have to do any fancy unwrapping really, to be honest. The only thing you need to remember is unwrap your different materials separately so that each one... Ah, no, that is part of that. I don't want that part of that, so let's take that. And we'll join it with this room here. There we go. So each material you want it to fill as much of the UV space as possible. So if I'm going to be using 3 separate materials, which I am, for the ceiling, the floor and the walls, then I really need to be unwrapping each of these materials separately so that each of these fills the space. Now the ceiling and the floor is easy. I can just do a basic project. I've still got something there. No, that's fine. So I'll go into UV editing mode. And again, we'll just separate it there. That thing there is absolutely fine. I'm just going to hit U for unwrap and U again to do a basic unwrap. And that's as much as you can get. That's perfect. It's taken up all of the space. We'll do the same with that one. Unwrap. Except we actually want that included, don't we? Yeah, there we go. And then everything else, I'll select the ceiling again and I'll hit Control and I. So now I've selected everything else, including all of this arch. This is going to be the reddish material. And this one, we're probably going to have to do manually because of that arch. So I'm going to hit U and Cube Project just to see what it's like. And we'll do UV Pack Islands. And in fact, that's not bad, although I would rather this was maybe all one piece because I don't want to be able to see any seams. So what I'll do is I'll try this. We'll select those and we'll unwrap them again, but they're probably going to be too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the textile density of this. In fact, you know what? Shall we put a patterned wallpaper on here? Which means that we're going to need to rotate this so that it's the right way, and it's probably going to be trial and error rotating the others. But we'll give it a try. Needs to be rotated by 180. Yeah, we'll give it a try. So there's an add-on that I recommended. It's totally free, called Textile Density Checker, and I would highly recommend this because I've been unwrapping the light maps. Let's just get rid of that one, and we'll just call that UV map and recreate the light maps in a bit. Textile Density Checker is something that allows you to ensure that all of your assets that use the same materials have the material is at exactly the same size regardless. If you were to unwrap a large cube and a small cube and they're both taking up the same amount of space in the UV space, then one of them, the material is going to be larger than the other, if that makes sense. If you're not sure what I mean, I'm happy to show you. Let's just create a new scene for now. And I'll bring in 2 cubes. We'll duplicate one, bring it over here, and we'll scale this to 1/4 the size of the first one. But you can see that the UVs are identical for each of them. They're both unpacked to the largest possible size that they can be. And so by putting a material on that, which, let's have a look and see if I've got anything I can quickly find. Let's have a look at this slate floor. Oh, come on. There we go. And we'll just bring that in. And we'll also apply that material to this as well. What was it called? Material 1. Yes. Material 1. So you can see there, it's exactly the same unwrapping. It's exactly the same material. But it's much, much bigger on this one. And to make them the same, what you would do is you would use a texel density checker, which works in both object mode and edit mode. You calculate your texel density. So I've calculated it for that. You can set the value, so in the future, any other objects you want the same texel density, you just select it and hit set my TD. And they have both got exactly the same texel density now. All it's done is it's calculated the size of the UV map and the size of the object and done the same thing on the, so it's increased the size of the UV. So they are now perfectly the same. I'm going to go back to our original scene, and I'll probably start with this wall here. We'll just go into edit mode actually. Start with that wall, and come on Lisa, there we go. Again, it works in UV editing mode as well, in your UV space. So you calculate your TD, set the value, and then everything else on there, I've just done Control and I, set my TD, and that's it. Everything should be the same. The only thing we're going to have to correct now is the rotation of the faces, which we'll sort in a minute. So for now, what I'm going to do, actually, let's just do this again. I didn't realise it had done the ceiling and the floor. So for now, what I'd like to do is have a look for some kind of wallpaper. I don't know what we're going to use. Let's have a look. Quite a lot of these flock type wallpapers, isn't there? These are a bit either very 70s or very much like a hotel. Shall I have a look at that one? I don't know. I like that one with the gold. Art Deco. Let's have a look at that and see if we can download it. So it's got all of them. Download all the maps. There we go. Oh goodness, I've got to do them separately. Right, so which ones am I going to use? I'm going to use the roughness. I'm going to use the metallic, ambient occlusion and base colour. That'll do. Because they're my normal go-tos. So we'll get all of these and we'll just move them into the right folder. What did I call this again? Rooms. Okay. That'll do. Ooh. So there's our images. I'm also going to use the texture channel packer that I used before because I've already got this ARM shader copied over from a previous project. So, as usual, ARM stands for ambient occlusion, roughness and metallic. That's how I've got the shader set up. So we look for, in rooms, ambient occlusion, roughness, metallic, convert, and I'm going to export it as, I just always export it as packed because it's channel packed. So there's our packed one. So I'm going to bring that into here. I'm going to change the material that I've got, the wall material I've got. We'll just reuse it. I'm not going to bother with the packed one. I'm just going to use all the others. I'll only use the packed one in Unity. So we want the base colour, ambient occlusion, metallic and roughness. And that's it set up. The only thing we need to do is multiply the base colour. It hasn't brought the base colour in, has it? Oh, has it? There we go. It hasn't brought the base colour in. So we'll do that ourselves. Just got to remember where I've put it. Banter projects, rooms, base colour. We need to multiply the base colour with the ambient occlusion. Always multiply when it comes to using ambient occlusion in Blender. The reason being that we don't want the white bits to get whiter, but we want the dark bits, the shadowy bits, to get darker. And obviously 0 is black and 1 is white. And if you multiply a value by 0, it's 0, so it's going to be fully black. And if you multiply a value by 1, it remains unchanged. So that's exactly why we'll multiply an ambient occlusion map with the base colour. So that's that. Now that looks, apart from the fact that some of the walls are rotated and we need to fix it, it's way, way, way too big, the material. So we're going to fix that. And all we need to do is fix it on one of the walls and then copy the texel density across. So we'll just resize these. In fact, what I might do is just unwrap it like that, just with a UU. Still way too big, so we'll scale it up. We'll double the size of the UV map, we'll double it again, and that kind of looks reasonable, I guess. So we'll copy the texel density, set the value, invert, set my TD, and then of course I've got to do this again because I'm an idiot. And then we just need to rotate these faces so that they're the right way around. Any others that's sideways? Now that one doesn't seem to have set that
you
one.
Just call yourself an idiot.
An idiot, an idiot. As in a feckin' idiot. Okay, so there is our lounge done with the wallpaper. We might as well do the other rooms. So we'll go into UV editing, select all of the walls, And we'll unwrap. In fact, I should have done that. Cubic unwrap, pack islands, there we go. We'll set the textile density. And of course, I've done the same thing again, and I keep unpacking the light maps. Remind me on, don't unpack the light maps. We're going to recreate the light maps in a minute. So that's fine. We just need to rotate the walls that need to be rotated. Is that one sideways? Yes, it is. They're all sideways, aren't they? Goodness. Okay. And now for this one. So I'll select everything except the ceiling and the floor. U for unwrap, C for cubic, UV, pack islands, set my TD. I've done it again. Now what did I say? Remind me on, don't unpack the light maps. Okay. So we just need to rotate them again. But at least we know that the scale of the texture is the same on every room. As I say, I can't recommend this enough. Textile density checker. It's really, really useful. So that's that. That's actually a horrible wallpaper, isn't it? That's going to make your eyes go funny. But I want to find a nice wood floor. One that kind of looks like my wood floor in my house. And I reckon that one's pretty close to my floor. So we'll have a... That's opened a completely different image up. Let's go back down. Try that one. There we go. We'll use that. Wait for it to download. And we'll extract it. Go back to here. Let's just double check it's there. What was it called? Planks. I'll just make sure I get rid of the stuff I don't need. I don't need the DirectX normal. I'm probably not even going to be using that, the GL normal, but it doesn't matter. Roughness, metalness, displacement I'm not going to use. Ambient occlusion I am. Okay, and we might as well pack it while we're on. So we want planks, ambient occlusion, roughness, metallic. Convert, export, and we're going to call it packed. And there's our packed one. So we'll use those in a moment. We've just got to get these set up. So we want the floor now. And for the floor, yeah, we'll set up the basic material first. I'll just drag these in instead of doing it the way I did it before. I don't think I can drag in several. We'll do it like this. Metallic and roughness. So there's my base colour. That's fine. Don't need to do anything with that. Ambient occlusion. Multiply those together. What else we got?
That
Metallic.
doesn't look like wood to me.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't. I wasn't even looking at the image. Goodness gracious. Thanks, Pony. I was absolutely miles away. Let's try that again. Still got the wrong one. Where's me folder? Planks. There we go. Right, packed. Colour, ambient occlusion, metalness, roughness. Goodness gracious. Right. Come on. Multiply those. Everything else should be set up fine. However, it's purple. And why is it purple? I wonder. That's a bit strange, isn't it?
Oh, you added some colors last time. Could that interfere?
No, because the base colour, there's the colour that it originally had, and as soon as you plug something in, it overrides it.
Ah, okay.
So that is really, really weird. Image. Reload. No. See, the metallic's there. Roughness is there. Base colour. I see them here. But they're just not. That is really bizarre. If anybody knows if this is just a Blender bug, please let me know. But what I'm going to do...
Go back to basic. You could just only try the base color and see whether that works. Just
You think so?
Problem down, because at the moment you got like a lot of noodles going on.
Yeah, there's not that many though.
Just only check the base color.
There's only a few noodles there.
Yeah, we just take them.
Ah, see.
Right, there's the original. The original there. We'll start off with...
Must be because you just one by one, I think. No, that's not the
No,
color.
it's the wallpaper again.
The wallpaper.
Just do the base color. Just do it one by one. Yeah, see that.
Marvellous, leave it at that.
It probably is because you did too many things in one. Maybe it just got confused.
Do you think so?
Open.
Just a Blender issue. One of those weird Blender things. Roughness. Where's me roughness gone? I can't see it. There it is. And metalness.
I think Divine's fell through the floor while she's floated around.
Oh no.
But
Right.
they don't have legs.
Yeah, that looks good.
So, this floor here, I'm actually looking at my floor now and this needs rotating. Actually, I'll just turn on sync. And it needs rotating. I will turn off sync, that's too much to look at, me poor head. And it needs to be scaled up a bit. And again, something like that. That kind of looks like my floor, I reckon. So, calculate 2D, set value. We'll choose this floor as well. It also needs to be rotated. And we'll set the same TD. And then this floor again needs to be rotated. And set the TD. And I don't actually have wood floor in the kitchen. I've got tiles, but I'm not going to start looking for another material. It can be floor all the way through. And I quite like this. My floor isn't like this at all, but it would have been nice if it was done like this. I like that as a kind of separator, divider, so I'm going to leave it. And the only other thing is the ceiling. Not sure if I'm going to put a texture on the ceiling, to be honest. Shall I? Shan't I? Shall I? Shan't I? Let's have a look. Maybe just look for...
Artex.
Yeah, I've tried looking for Artex. You can't find it, but these plaster things look quite nice. Painted plaster. I mean,
Marvellous.
my ceiling doesn't have these cracks. It's actually a not bad nick, but it's a nice texture to use.
Mine does.
Does it?
Yeah, mine does too.
Especially under where the bath is.
Oh.
Stay like it as well.
Okay. So, we'll go over here to the ceiling material. And I'm going to do it a different way this time. Just add in an image texture, which is going to be my base colour, and open it from here. So D, Banter Projects, Rooms, Assets, Painted Plaster, Colour. Ooh, look at that. And what else is there in there? I have not a clue. So, we've got roughness. Roughness needs to be non-colour. Plug that in. We've got that's it, isn't it? It's just roughness. There's no ambient occlusion or anything. I'm not going to bother with the normals today because I'm moving further and further away from normals. I really don't like the way you get that weird grey look on them from an angle with normals in Unity, in Banter. So I'm not going to bother. We'll just stick with those for now. And now what I want to do is just resize these because where is it? Painted Plaster, Colour. For the simple fact that that crack is worrying. If I had to crack that long across my ceiling, I'd be seriously worried. So let's just resize that. Try doubling it in size maybe. I also don't want to resize it so much that there's going to be an obvious pattern repeat as well. So I'll make it maybe 4 times the size. Calculate the TD. Set the TD. Actually, that hasn't set it, has it? That's why. Set my TD. Set my TD. Right. So they should all be the same scale. The frames, we're going to do the frames. We've got 10 minutes. Let's not bother with the frames. Let's just make sure that everything is unwrapped correctly for the light maps. So I'm just going to do a basic cubic unwrap, and that is exactly not what I was supposed to do because I'm trying to be too quick. That will do. Still don't think that's right. What I should do is add that to my quick favourites. That would be easier. Pack Islands, there we go.
Something going on in the kitchen, Lisa.
You're right, there is. Hey, man. Honestly. Right, let's start again. One at a time, working from the top. Into edit mode. Cubic unwrap. Pack Islands. Next one. This is my window frame. That one's already unwrapped. I haven't done anything with it. This one, I haven't done anything with it. That's fine. It's fine. These are all just the windows, I think. Okay. Right, I think that'll probably do. Okay, let's just select everything and hope for the best. Prepare and export. I'll just save what I've done for now. And we'll see what happens. So, there's my door there. Light maps are all wonky, but that's because I've added stuff. I'm not going to bake them though. What am I like for time? 6 minutes. Right, so first thing what I want to do is the walls. So using this arm shader, I'm going to call that walls. And actually in the FBX, I'm just going to replace that wall there with walls and apply. Right. So now what I want to do is bring in, let's just lock that. Is that my colour? That's my base colour. That's my metallic. Oh no, I've got a normal there and I'm not using normals. At least I haven't so far. I wonder if that'll work without, probably. And then I've got me packed there. So that works out me metallic, me roughness and me ambient occlusion with the packed one I did. So that's them. Let's do the floor. So we'll call this floors. Go back to the FBX and we'll replace floor with floors. And then I can just add the materials to it. Planks. There's me packed one. There's me colour. And if we go over here where the sun's shining through, that doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad. And you can see that the roughness and metallic maps are working. There's patches of it look rough and patches of it are a bit shiny. So I'm definitely not going to bother with the normal. That's enough. And then the ceiling. Create material. Ceilings. Select me FB. Come on, Lisa. Ceilings. What have I got left? I've got frames and glass. We'll do frames and glass next week. But for now, let's just do the ceiling. So that's painted plaster. What have I got? I've got the colour. I didn't pack this one. I need to do that, don't I? So, what did we have? We had displacement not using. We only had roughness. So ambient occlusion, roughness is that one. Painted plaster, roughness. I don't need to pack it if I'm just using that. Am I going to use? Yeah. No, I do, because I've got to made the bloomin' shader now. So what the hell? Packed. Doesn't make any difference. Honestly, why is that?
You know, you still have like an hour until the next event. Just letting you know.
Okay.
In other words, you can afford to go over if and when you want.
Well, we're always a little bit later than 7 starting, aren't we? And as long as I know we've got that that time, that's fine. Eee, look at that. It's cracking the ceiling. Okay. So we've done that. I want to quickly put some lights in. Next week, I'm going to model some pendant lights to hang from the ceiling. But for now, I'm just going to stick in some point lights. So we've got light coming from some ominous emission, and we don't know where the light's coming from. But here we go, point light. We'll stick one in there. I'll just go into top orthographic view and decide where I'm going to put it. I want to put it probably, I don't know, about there, maybe. Yeah, that'll do. And then I'll duplicate it. And I'll put another one in the dining room here. And then I'll duplicate that. And I'll put one in the kitchen, about there. And then these three all need to have, because I use bakery to bake me lighting, they all need to have a bakery point light script on them. And then I think that's about it. We just need to check. These ones that are disabled are the windows, because I need to do a glass material for them. So we'll leave them disabled for now. We'll just check that everything is set for GI. Yeah. And we'll bake. Keep our fingers crossed. There we go.
That's a slow bake.
Yeah, it's pretty fast for compared to Unity's though. Light mapper.
Oh yeah. You just slow for bakery for
Yeah.
size of your build.
Yeah.
What graphic card are you using?
A 1080, GTX 1080. So yeah, I don't have RTX cores, which would make it much faster.
Ah, that's fair enough. I understand that. Right, yeah, my mistake.
It's alright.
RTX.
Yeah.
Makes it very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So that should be it. Now remember when I put my origin on this door, if I can scroll in on it. This door here, we set the origin so we could rotate it on the Z. I'm not sure. I didn't reset the scale or the rotation. So next time I export, I'll have to do that. In fact, I'll do it now in here. Rotation and scale. So these are now 0 rotation and a scale of 1. The reason that's important, you'll notice here that my, well, first of all, my scale's wrong. They should all have a scale of 1 for it to be correct. And these should be pointing to the world, the global axes, and they're not. They're completely off. So when I come to animate this door, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside because none of the axes will be right. So I've set it right now, and next time I export it, we'll animate this door and have it open and close. But yeah, for now, I'm quite happy with that. We've still got sideways wallpaper. I need to fix that. But most of the walls are okay. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with that. So yeah, we've got to start anyway on a house. I would like to think that we could at least get the whole of the downstairs level finished with like stairs going up and all the doors in and all the windows, and maybe even make this a proper patio door instead of just a big window. But for now, I'm happy with that. I think as well, I'll leave it up to you. What would you like me to do next week? Because obviously I every week I do the same thing. I think I can achieve a lot more than I can in an hour, and we end up running out of time. So would you like me to concentrate on model and pendant lights, or maybe get a start on modelling a sofa or a TV, or I don't know, maybe doing the patio door? Or is there anything in particular you'd like me to expand on this build next week?
The lights. No, whatever you
The lights.
want to squeeze in.
Okay. Well, we've already had an
Or animate the
answer.
door.
The lights. So we'll do that next week. We'll create some lamps, something that we can just duplicate and have a few of them dotted around, and we'll create a couple of pendant lights for the ceiling as well. And that would be nice because I could also demonstrate the power of light meshes in bakery as well. We can have emissive bulbs, light bulbs, which actually create a proper indirect light that shines off lampshades and things and gives a nice realistic warm feel to it. So we'll do that next week. Concentrate on lights.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
Great idea.
I have a
Pleasant, Lisa.
question about in the future. Like, have you gone? Because I obviously haven't. There's been a few times I haven't been here. Have you walked through how to do doors, swing doors, sliding doors, different doors
Nope,
in general?
nope, not at all. This is the first time so far. We haven't
Alright,
done doors. This is the first door I've made. Is this very, very simple one made out of a cube for the kitchen. I've not done anything like
that
it
would
before.
have been a fun thing to have on the roadmap.
Yeah. Yeah, we will. I mean, I intend for this door, I do intend to also model a handle for it, and then maybe have some kind of trigger on the handle so you can click it and the door will open and allow you to walk through. I think that would be a nice thing to do. So,
Yes, that'd be cool.
yeah. But next week, lights. Brilliant. Lovely.
Yes.
Um,
Emissive bakery lights.
Yeah, I know. I can't recommend bakery enough. I really can't. Obviously, if you're not using bakery, I have gone through the Unity built-in light mapper again, but if you want me to go through it again, I'm happy to. It's basically the
No,
same as bakery,
everybody
you
just
just
get
don't add the
bakery.
scripts. I would recommend you get bakery, definitely. It does a way better job. You get much, much better results. You get smaller light maps. It does a lot of the fiddling around. A lot of the times you have to fiddle around with values and tweak like padding of your islands and the light maps and things just to get it to work properly. Bakery automates an awful lot of that for you. And it's how I always say it's how Unity's built-in light mapper should have been. It's just annoying that we have to pay for something that does a good job, a proper job of your light maps. So, yeah, it is recommended, but I know it's not cheap and I know it's not within everybody's means to get it. So I'm very, very happy to go through Unity's built-in light mapper as well. But for now...
Keep an eye on when it's on sale and whatnot. And
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
on sale right now. Oh, it was.
It was. I
It was on
don't know
sale
if
the
it
other day.
still is, but it's been on sale for a while. I think it was about half price or something, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. But I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you, everybody, for coming along. It's been a pleasure. I hope I haven't bored you. And like I say,
No, don't.
next week I'm quite excited. I love lighting, so I'm excited about doing lights next week.
I'm glad you love lighting.
Oh, I do. I do. It's the most satisfying part of building a
I've got over
world.
160 lights in that bloody infinite castle now. I don't love lighting anymore.
Oh.